flourishing and evolving.
Life.
Yo. All right, y'all, we back. Let's give it up. What's up, y'all? This is another episode of Life.
Welcome back.
What's up, y'all? Back at it, Life. It's the Life Podcast. Brian Miller.
Kevin Smelser. Kevin Miller.
And we got a special guest today, man. For the last 5 years, I've been doing therapy, and I want to introduce my therapist.
Hi, y'all. My name is Bianca. I'm the owner of the Phoenix Nicholson. Glad to be here.
Cool. Good to have you. Last podcast, we was talking about raising sons and people having trouble where the more responsible you are as an adult, the harder it is to raise another responsible human being. Whatever it is, them bucking or them issues, trying to outdo you or trying not to get off the ladder where you let them at. Things like that. And I guess in your profession, we kind of want to get your take on what you think about certain things and how does that affect the people that you deal with in your field?
Well, that's a good question. When we talk about raising adults, right? We're talking about raising people to become knowledgeable adults and being able to be productive members of society. What we forget sometimes is that we're also creating people who have choice and opinion. And so we can give opportunities, we can give explanations, and sometimes what the child will choose is something different than how we were raised. You know how big mom got, you weren't raised like that. You raised, you also make choices. And sometimes I'm gonna make poor choices. I think the key is when I'm working with clients, especially who have adult children or adult teen children or even aging parents as well. The key is, I think, is more of an awareness, I guess, of yourself. What's going on? Am I triggered because I want you to do what I say because this is how I did it? Or am I triggered because you're doing something that is going to harm you, and now as a parent, I'm worried about you? And that comes with more insight about how you're feeling, how you're doing. And then also letting, sometimes you gotta let people go and, let these little niggas find out sometimes. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you fine. I understand this. We okay. It's okay. It's okay. We trying to keep it as organic and straightforward as possible, because sometimes the audience can feel that you tapering your conversation, so we don't want to put them in a space where they're like, she tiptoeing around. Like, okay. I'm telling y'all flat out, we had some of the realest conversations that I've ever had with anybody in my life, and I'm grateful to have met her. When I met her, I needed her bad, and she's given me a lot of tools, man. So hopefully she can share just through conversation some of the tools. And if y'all got questions or y'all want to, this is the time where we can kind of, guide the conversation and let it be organic.
Can I pose a question? Have any of you gentlemen ever thought about therapy or been to therapy or tried therapy? If it's too personal, you don't know that.
I just came to therapy today. Yeah, man.
Okay.
I actually go through therapy right now.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah, when they come to me, I thought about it. I had some counseling. I haven't had the actual therapy session to sit there and talk to someone. But I've been in like a counseling group, NAs, AAs, the drug classes, all the stuff they put you through when you trying your best to stay free, so you kind of follow the footsteps of what they tell you to do.
Yes.
That's real life. I've been through that. Do I think I need therapy? I think everybody needs therapy. I just haven't actually talked to anyone until I got around these guys that can point me in the right direction. My therapy really came from sitting there and figuring it out.
Man.
And hold it, if it hurt, that's for you to deal with, and outside of letting somebody know, because I tend to find people that I will talk to before now that it was more or less me loading the gun up on. So I kind of held it to myself. But yeah, therapy, I have no problem with it. Just it's finding the right place and the right people to be around.
I promise
Like,
you it is.
it's a lot of resources out here that can help a lot of people get out of the situation they're in, but without knowing how to get the resources or who to go to or who to talk to. That's kind of why the situation of the city is the way it is, because nobody knows where to go. Everybody's acting out of their own thoughts and their own mind. They don't understand that sometimes you have to talk. You have to release, be able to release. So yeah, I'm all for the therapy, and that's why we're here today. Men's Mental Health Month still going. We having more.
All day, every day.
We having more suicides.
Yeah.
That I've known, and I'm growing up 50 years, and people are doing stuff that's totally out of character. Nobody is actually knowing how to deal with it. They don't know how to talk to their kids. The kids is running the show, and they doing whatever they want to. And for the most part, us as OGs, a lot of us don't understand that we gotta, those that are scared, because I know I'm not scared. I know a group of people I'm around don't have a problem with talking and reaching out to the youth. So what did they carry their gloves? A lot of them need to learn or need to know that there's somebody willing to talk to them. If you show fear, the dog will bite you. It's that simple. Sometimes they will talk to you, but if you come up shaking and scared, then they probably want to rob you because you look easy. But yeah, I mean,
That's the way. That's just the world we in.
Yeah, so here we go.
What do you have like what would it be, like a network or a place where people can go and like try to figure out where to get help if they want to get help?
So, do I have one? I'm working on one, but
Well, is there one that's available like citywide, or is there like a resource group or anything that?
there isn't anything city or statewide per se when it comes to resources, especially resources for us.
Yes.
What you'll see though is a lot of individual practitioners like myself creating networks and creating kind of their own inner network for services and things. It would be nice if there was more of a nationally based one. Now there are some that are coming out. Therapy for Black Men and Therapy for Black Girls are two kind of the national big ones.
Okay.
There is Black Mental Health with men capitalized is another one. There's a couple of them that are kind of popping up right now. But as for like Indianapolis, there are not a lot of resources. Oh, excuse me, I take that back. There myself are not taking insurance, which is can cause an issue for a lot of people. The state makes it very hard to follow the Medicaid rules and guidelines. Keeping up with all the changes makes it hard for independent practitioners to kind of keep that, and big insurance agencies can take up to 6 months to pay back. And so, that's
a purposeful move to keep the little guy down, though. Like that's with you saying that you trying to build something on. Well, not trying, because we don't try, we just do.
Period. She's a little baby now, but we growing her.
Yeah. So what can we do to help you? Or what can our audience do? What are some things that we can do to help you get that established, so that
we can get these people
people the help that they need, or at least get them on track, whether it's just an assessment or anything, something to get people where we can start putting them in the right direction. Yeah.
So for right now, my company, we are in some revamp. I also have the Phoenix Nicholas Center focuses specifically on like mental health, like therapy and consulting and things like that for like the greater mental health wellness. But more specifically, my passion project is actually our brother company called Rest, Black Man Rest, where we focus specifically on the Black man's mental health wellness journey. because it looks inherently different than most people's wellness journey, including Black women. So we're focusing specifically on trying to build that out. So we have some things that we are going to roll out actually in January of 26.
Okay.
So we putting some pauses on some things, and kind of some other opportunities are coming up. But the best thing that your audience and you all can do right now is really have these conversations. There's a program through the Marion County Coroner's Office called Restoring Our Mental Health, which is free therapy services for anybody in the state of in Marion County up until December.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. We're gonna say that again.
Restoring Our Mental Health through the Marion County Coroner's Office. I'll drop the information for you.
Okay, and we'll try to get that information tagged into this video somewhere, either a link or we'll post it at the end of the video, because that's a great resource that we got to dig into. What you thinking, brother?
I'm just I like that you are doing something that can help our community, because there's not much, like I go to therapy, but I know the therapists I go to, I know they can't reach me on some levels because they're not culturally designed to help us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, that's real.
So me saying I'm going to therapy, it's helpful, but there are certain things that I can't.
You don't feel comfortable talking to them,
and I can't relate to talking to them. Because I've just now found out that that Black people can have PTSD from slavery.
Absolutely.
It's in your genes. That even though we didn't go through it specifically ourselves, that trauma, I just found out that actually goes through.
Yeah, you could.
Is inherited. And
especially if the people before you haven't demonstrated breaking that cycle. Like if they still subscribe to the program, then things from the program transfer, because it's the same software basically, and then it's being downloaded generation. So you have to find the ones that are kind of like how we are, the warrior class. You got to find the warrior class, and you got to figure out how to make your voice louder so that you can start passing it along. Hey, we don't have to be like this. We can talk to somebody. We could offload some of these problems that just naturally occur. You know, the anxieties, the survival skills, the traumas or the triggers.
Trauma responses.
All of those things. And so many of the kids today, they didn't get it. They don't have anybody that trains the programming, so they taking it and they just acting out. They don't have a thought process. They not critically thinking. They took critical thinking out of school. Now your intelligence or your IQ is based on what you can remember. So they lay a bunch of stuff out and see if you can remember it. But intelligence is finding a way to solve the problem. We might have the same problem sitting on the table, but you thinking, and I'm thinking, we all come up with different ways to solve it. We haven't been taught to just follow the rules. You know what I mean? And that's a part of the trouble that I've always got. I'm a habitual rules line stepper. I'm just being honest.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
Being honest if you're willing to try the therapy and you're willing to commit to it, you might have to switch your people. You know what I mean? Just so you could dig deeper, because the challenges that I received that made me have to dig, you know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't even have been susceptible to even dealing with that if it wasn't for her. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm being honest, man. I don't really even talk to nobody about what I got going on. And that's the school of thought that I come from. You don't tell your business. So finding somebody that I could talk to about my thoughts, my plans, finding somebody that I could listen to, and like the one main thing that I took from me and her dealing with each other is that she never was biased, so I could get an honest opinion about whether I'm wrong or right. And
because we're both, and in real life, right? In real life, we're both, and finding that fit. I tell people all the time, finding a good therapist is like finding a good barber or finding a good stylist. You don't just go to anybody, right? You got to know somebody who knows you, knows your hair type, has some experience. You know, you can help some people, but you are very specific. And your barber messed up one or too many times, right? What you do? You period, right? I'm out here, right? Because you take pride in how you look, and you want to look a certain way. Therapy is the same way. There's a lot of great clinicians out here, but not every therapist is for everybody. And I tell people all the time, I am an acquired taste that a lot of people don't acquire because my style is very non-traditional. But I know that does not fit for everybody. So if you're in a place where you're like, I'm doing good stuff and I like it, and I just know I can't go broach these certain topics with my therapist, then we need to start looking at it, because there shouldn't be a situation where you don't feel like you feel like there's something that you can't say versus certain things that you don't want to say. Right. So if I can't talk to you about it, this relationship's not working. Doesn't mean they're a bad clinician, just not good necessarily for you.
Yeah, and being like akin to the same like problems, like
I don't have the
I know if I'm going to speak on a certain thing that you have never had no kind of,
you never walked that walk.
Right. So, that's another thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think, I've had a lot of people tell me in my time about that same kind of thing, because it's about connection, right? I started out my therapy career in Wabash Valley Correctional Facility down in southern Indiana. And now, mind you, I'm a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, new therapist in school, gonna save the world, right? And I'm walking into a unit. This is just after the state of Indiana got sued for the treatment of their mental health clients. And so they got rid of the Supermax, and now they're basically like the level 4 offenders are coming into this one like mental health unit called K-House. And so that was my first job, my first experience. Now, let me tell you, one thing I have not been is to jail, okay? So I'm walking in here not knowledgeable about anything, having a good old time, just walking, talking, and engaging, because what I learned by walking into there is that humans are humans, no matter what your circumstance is. And too often, we were talking about trauma before, too often our correctional facilities are filled with people who look like us, which is another secondary trauma on top of the generational trauma. So you tack that into someone doesn't have to necessarily have your same experience to understand how it affects you and how it walks with you. So as you are thinking about as you're thinking about picking a person who you're going to share very intimate details with, and not intimate in like a sexual nature, but intimate in things I ain't never talked about with anybody else before, you have to have a relationship where you can say, I may not want to talk to you about this, but I know that I can. And if you feel like you can't, that's not the person for you. That's the barber that ain't working out for you.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of extreme. I haven't really ever, like I said, most of my conversation has been to myself, with myself. So working towards and being able to talk with somebody is a great way to get it out, but you have to have that relationship. And with that being said, this podcast it's more than just the people that you see in front of the camera. We also have a couple people behind the camera, and one of those people has a question. What's your question?
And my question is, why does it seem like the state-facilitated mental health, like Community North or community, it seems like they have a catch and release program as opposed to helping people. Like, they have people that seriously need help. But they'll lock them up for a week, and they'll say, well, in order to get out, you gotta have someone call for you. But they don't have any follow-ups for them.
Right.
And these are people who are out in the streets,
Mm-hmm.
having nervous breakdowns, or they need some type of help, some type of counseling.
Mm-hmm.
They don't provide real help for them. They just kind of catch and release.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You are hitting a topic that a lot of clinicians, especially clinicians of color, are running into, is that the state-funded facilities are that they are for-profit facilities that are designed to have
The rotating door.
correct, come in,
Business.
put a
It's a
Band-Aid
business.
off. It is a business. I've worked for a couple of those, and it's about volume, not necessarily quality. Now, this is not to say that there is not quality services that are being done there, but it is not a system that is necessarily designed for the time that therapy can take, which is more about building relationship. There is a school of thought that we call solution-based kind of therapy and direction, where it's more short-term. We come in, we think about it, we hash out an idea, and then 6 months, boom, we're gone, right? That's not for everybody. And so with that mentality, knowing that we need to make money, because if the second your insurance runs out, the second you don't have a way to pay, you all of a sudden you
Yeah.
can't get no services, no
Yeah.
more, right? It's done. You're done about it, because it's not about healing. It's not about wellness. It's
Right.
about profit.
Right.
And you can't put a price of profit on people.
Right.
And so you have a lot. This is why there's a lot of clinicians that are stepping away and doing kind of their own thing, is because of that program. And that's just, unfortunately, the state.
That's got to wear
Yeah,
you
that's-
out if you care.
Yeah, and see, that's what pisses me off, because, like, you look at TV or hear the radio every day, all day, they talking about mental health, we need to do better in mental health, but ain't no government or state funded, or nobody's really doing anything. They just saying the words.
It's a fad though, it's the same as anything that goes across TikTok. If you see them,
like a challenge.
if you see them advertising it, that just means they found a way to make money off of it. And once you have to be able to still sift through that and know that when that smoke clears, it's still gonna be people that need help.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you gotta figure out where to land at, or you gotta have the insight. And not everybody has it to know that this person really cares. I need to stick by this person. I need to go over here, because you could be in a space where they look like us, but they doing it for a paycheck, or they doing it for whatever money comes, and they might not have the awareness to be like, something's wrong here, because I can't follow up. I don't know. Like, what if you get 6 free sessions, and session 7 or 8 is the one that you need the most.
Yeah.
But now you got to go find somebody and build again, or you might it's to deter. Like, it's always. That's why we better off building our own.
Yeah.
Like every time you go back and you say, what's up with the state? What's up with the Fed? What's up with this? Like, they have an agenda, and we not on the upside of the agenda.
We're not part of
We're not a part of it.
We are absolutely a part of it.
But I know you know what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, but
But it is designed that way, right? And strategically, if you look at the access to quality mental health services, and what I mean by quality, I mean options. So I could go to a couple of different psychiatrists if I don't like one, or I got a couple of different therapist options. That is that's access. You see that in our north part of Indianapolis, our donut counties, right? The lighter the hue, the more resources that we have. The thing about when we're talking about funding and things like that, it will always be a sketchy game, because it's not designed for us in this system. So as a small business, it is very hard for me to find funding, and I don't find a lot of funding because it goes to some of these bigger agencies, because that is how it's set up. Now, the good thing about what social media has been doing is, it is trendy, but trendy right now also breeds revolution. I've been in this field 20 years, and this is the most amount of black men I have ever seen in therapy in my entire time. And so it's not for us, but we can still utilize the systems and the services and the trends that are coming out and make it for us.
Yeah.
And so banding together, finding out. even going back to like the idea of like the barter system.
Right.
You know, people
And
can't.
we've talked about that before.
Yeah, the barter system is so it really makes sense because to charge what my credentials are worth, no one can pay that for real. I can't pay that for real. But that doesn't mean that it negates the worth. It just needs to be understood, and having more conversations like that is key.
I don't want to cut you off, but
sorry.
real quick, what is the difference between therapists and psychiatrists?
Okay, good question. So a therapist is a master's level clinician. So they have been through an undergraduate program and a master's counseling program and are licensed in that state to provide therapy services. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor that has gone through med school and had a separate section on mental health to focus specifically on mental health needs. So they
more schizophrenia and more, or not?
no, just more medication. So they can prescribe.
Oh, okay.
They can prescribe medication. They can do therapy, but you don't see a lot of psychiatrists doing therapy. They're really more of like medication management appointments. But they can be licensed to be a therapist as well.
The stigma of psychiatrists sits over the top of therapists. So a lot of people thinking about the psychiatrist and laying on the couch, when really they need therapy so that they can get some tools to get it. And I just wanted to make that clear for the crowd, because you don't want someone to be like, if you hear psychiatrist and therapist, you need to know that that's two separate people. I just want to thank you for coming in and giving us the time. I appreciate everything that you're doing.
I appreciate y'all inviting me.
If we could do anything to help, us as a group, just let me know. I'll reach out with them. Or if
Perfect.
I know we have, we're going to end up rolling the Thoughtful Thursdays into the Rest Black Man Rest. We kind of been talking about it, so we building something up. So it'll be, my goal is to have safe spaces on all sides of town, and I think she could help us achieve that. We don't necessarily have to be at each one, but if we know it's happening, we can still point people in them directions.
And lead by example too. Come to a couple. It's a great opportunity to have more insight.
But with that being said, man, we're gonna run this one. With this was a new one in the books, and we'll see y'all soon, man.
Real quick before we shut it down, if you see this and you are a therapist and you would like to assist or lend a helping hand, please put it in the comments. We will contact you back. We will talk with you. We need as much input from you guys as we
need to know how to help market y'all.
Yeah, come on with it, and let's get it out here. Let's get these people the help they need and point them at least in the right directions. And with that being said, thank y'all. This is the L.I.F.E podcast. Appreciate it.
Life.
Might be 8.
It's tempting.
It's tempting.
Learning.
What you gonna do?
Improving. Flourishing and evolving.
Life.
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 Yo.